Good evening and salutations, my Days of Elias fans. Actually, I have to think about that one for a minute. So, Stefan was the one that shot Harris. And, during my live streams, I was listening to talk to a couple people, and, we was there trying to play a game of, who do you think shot Harris? And somebody was like, Stefan. But they were like, Stefan never actually tried to kill anyone cold blood, unless Gabby's life was in danger. And so we find out today that it was Stefan that shot Harris. This is after Stefan, got summoned to the prison. And, Clyde's upset because Clyde's like, yeah, he's still alive. And he tells Stefan, listen, if he wakes up, you know what you got to do. And of course, Harris does eventually want to wake up. This is after Ava tries to see Harris, and the guard is like, no, and Rafe is like, no, but then for some odd reason, he lets her see him. And at first she said no because, it wasn't good for either one of them, which I really didn't understand. Well, it actually did make sense. Once Ava told Rafe about everything, he was like, it's not a good idea just for him to sit there and decide, no, I do have a heart. Sure, you can go and see him, even though it was not a good idea not that long ago, but whatever. Anyway, she goes and sees him, and, she's standing over him, she kisses him, and eventually he does wake up. So when she leaves the room, and Stefan comes to the hospital, Ava's like, there's good news or whatever, Harris is alive, and, he hugs him, and, Stefan's like, yeah, well, he just has that look on his face like, yeah, that's a shame. But I'm not gonna lie, I did not see that coming. Now, Xander, he's not in ninja or whatever. He's in the interrogation room with Sarah and Justin, and they're talking about the charges and everything like that. And Rafe comes in, and Rafe is like, "Hey, just so you know, there was a pile of money that's in your account. You want to explain that? Want to explain the text that said, it's done? You want to explain any of that? Oh, also, it was Stefan that somehow, I guess, got a hold of Ava's phone. The Laura Harris there. So that was all him. Which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see that coming, which is good because it's a nice, good twist. Even though everything pointed to him when you stop and think about it. Yeah, I guess Days can still somehow surprise me. Good job. But yeah, now whoever's framing Xander sent money into his account. Also has like there was a picture on a loading docks, whatever, of what Xander was wearing. There's an eyewitness saying that Xander was sitting there running away from the bistro or whatever. But of course, all this stuff is very circumstantial. The gun being there, the picture that doesn't even show his face, it just shows the person from the back. The money, the text, all this stuff, at the very least, is circumstantial. So even somebody like Justin should be able to fight these charges. But it is Justin, so yeah. Now Constantine comes to the office to talk to Steve. He finds out that Trip is missing, so he kind of throws that in his face. And pretty much he's like, my daughter got shot, and you witnessed it. You didn't do anything, so you're just as guilty as the pawn, aka John. But it turns out that Constantine didn't even see John shoot his daughter. The only thing he's going by is the fact that when he woke up, it was only 3 people in the room, including the dead body. There was only 3 people in the room. So he's like, he had to be the one that shot my daughter, and you just stood there and watched because y'all are buddies or whatever. So he doesn't even know for sure that it was John that shot his daughter. But of course, he makes some sort of veiled threat or some sort of insinuation like, oh, well, if Tripp got hurt or whatever, how would you feel? And at that point, Steve was like, yeah, I had enough. John comes in there. John was Smith there scouting around or whatever, found very little information. Some witnesses that saw him, that saw those two together, but didn't really have anything much. So, I guess it's time for Steve to sit there and tag in and try to search around or whatever. But I gotta say, oh, I did mention Stefan. Yeah, Stefan did sit there and meet up with Clyde. He was doing all this stuff for Gabby. Clyde is just like, hey, listen, as long as you follow suit, Gabby will be fine. But things go off the rail. Maybe a toe, maybe a leg, fingers. Who knows at this point? Damn, I'm just kind of annoyed at myself that I did not see that coming. It just made perfect sense. But I give Days his points because one it was actually a good episode. Um, Two, I didn't see it coming. Also, he woke up again when Rafe was in the hospital with him, so he woke up. So I'm very curious to sit there and see how this whole thing is going to go down. But of course, if you watch General Hospital, you know that Steve is coming back home, even though technically his first home was Days of Our Lives, but whatever. So I'm very curious to sit there and see how they're going to do this whole thing. Since they didn't kill him off yet, my guess is that they're going to probably shelve him. Maybe have a different actor. Who knows? I thought his run on the show was interesting. Now, I guess my visions are a little skewed. I saw him as Jason the entire time. So on General Hospital, so when he got on this show, not really much changed. And I can't blame him for that to some extent because some people just can act a certain way. Um, Erin Haley or Haley Erin, she was on General Hospital. She was Kiki Cadrone. And now she is on YNR as Claire. But the characters, the way that she plays her, is entirely different from Kiki. So it is possible to portray a different character even though you're the same person. Steve just didn't get the memo. Or maybe that's just his range. I don't know. I feel like that's about it. I can't think of anything else that wound up happening, but if I forget anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We will be snipped to talk about all the shows, Days of Our Lives, Born and Beautiful, Young and Restless, and General Hospital. With that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video.